Have you ever heard a sound that no one has heard for 1,000 years? I don't mean the wind in a forgotten canyon, but a melody, a rhythm, a song composed by a human being, performed for an audience, and then lost, swallowed by time. It's a haunting thought. We can rebuild the Colosseum from its ruins, we can decipher ancient graffiti, but a song? It feels like the most ephemeral ghost of the past. I'm Ibnul Jaif Farabi, and this is the Curiosity Compendium. Today, we're listening for echoes. We're reconstructing the lost sounds of history. For most of human history, music was an event, not an object. It happened, it vibrated the air, and then it was gone. Until recording technology, music lived and died in the moment of its performance. So how on earth do we begin to hear it again? We start with the clues left behind. The first and most direct clue is notation. But ancient sheet music isn't like modern sheet music. Take the melodies of ancient Greece. We have about 40 fragments of their music actually written down on papyrus or stone. The notation is a series of letters above the words, signs for pitch. But here's the puzzle: no rhythm. We have the what, but not the when. Scholars have to make educated guesses based on the natural rhythm of the poetry itself, trying to hear the heartbeat of a sapphic ode or a tragic chorus. It's a best guess, a scholarly reconstruction that gives us a whisper, a silhouette of the sound. Then there are the instruments themselves. Archaeology gives us the bones of the music. We have lyres from Mesopotamian tombs, bone flutes from Neolithic caves, bronze horns from Celtic bogs. But an instrument in a museum case is silent. This is where a special kind of detective comes in. The experimental archaeologist. They build replicas. They study the materials, the craftsmanship, the wear patterns from ancient fingers. They blow, they pluck, they strike. And in doing so, they discover not just the note an instrument could make, but its character. They learn that a Roman hydraulis, a water organ, had a brash, public sound perfect for the games. That a Viking bone flute has a reedy, haunting tone. The instrument tells you the palette of sounds the composer had to work with. But music isn't just notes and tools. It's a living part of culture. So the third clue is context. We read the reviews, essentially. We scour poetry, philosophy, and even complaints. Plato wrote about which musical modes made people brave or lazy. St. Augustine was tormented by how much he enjoyed the melodies of hymns, fearing the pleasure of the sound overshadowed the meaning of the words. We know from accounts that Mughal court musicians in my part of the world, the Indian subcontinent, could play a raga so specific it was believed to bring the rain. These descriptions don't give us the tune, but they give us the emotional footprint, the social role of the music. Was it for ritual? For dance? For contemplation? This guides the reconstruction. Putting it all together, the cryptic notation, the resurrected instrument, the cultural context, modern musicians and scholars attempt a kind of historical performance. The result is controversial, and it should be. We are not discovering a lost CD. We are creating a modern interpretation based on ancient evidence. It's a creative, scholarly act of imagination. When you hear a recording of reconstructed ancient Greek music, you are hearing a 21st century mind in conversation with a 2,000-year-old fragment. And that conversation is what fascinates me. It's a humbling reminder of how much of the human experience is transient. The laughter in a Bronze Age market, the lullaby sung to a child in Pompeii, the war chant before a battle, all gone. But the urge to recover them, to listen across the centuries, that's a profound act of connection. It says the beauty they made still matters. Their art is worth the detective work. So next time you press play on a song, think of it as a time capsule, a perfect, preservable miracle, and spare a thought for those lost sounds, and for the curious minds who are, even now, patiently trying to teach the world to hear them again. This has been the Curiosity Compendium. I'm Ibnul Jaif Farabi. Our production is by Light Knot Studios. Find more of our stories at https://www.lightknotstudios.com. Thank you for listening.